Alcohol. How'd you quit drinking?
The demons don't have control over me. I have control over them.
I had tried taking my life 3 times.
You're worth what you work worth.
You talk negativity. You talk, I can't, I won't, I'll fail. That's what you're going to get.
The most important thing is what you feed your mind.
I came home, I had a gallon of whiskey.
Words is, are you okay?
Thank you.
And that is so powerful. I mean, it is.
My brother quit.
Just quit cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
Drugs and alcohol wasn't the problem. I was the problem.
All right, we got Steve here.
What's going on?
What's up, man?
All right. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. You liking the weather?
Loving it right now. Don't feel like December.
I mean, it was Christmas and we're out there with short sleeve and shirt. And I'm just like, what? This ain't even right.
Yeah, I don't feel like Christmas if there's not snow on the ground.
Yeah. And my buddy, he's got a place in Florida, and I was talking to him the other day, and he's like, yeah, we ain't even went to Florida. The weather's so good here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, that's crazy because we went to 1 degree. We went to 1 degree weather, and I was just like, golly, like, you know. And then all of a sudden, now we're at 70. Yeah, so but we're supposed to get the cold back. I don't know.
We're going to pay for it.
Yeah, we're going to pay for it. Yeah. So, you got a little. Let's get into like a little bit of your background. I know you got a lot to share today, and I'm excited to hear your story. I know you've got a lot.
You've got ups and downs in life.
Ups and downs, and you served. What'd you serve?
I was in the United States Army from 94 to 98.
Okay.
As what they call a 54 Bravo, a chemical operations specialist.
Oh man.
To where I would help soldiers survive in a nuclear, biological, or chemical environment.
Man.
So it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's definitely exciting. That's not normal. You don't hear.
No, they gave me some options when I went to MEPS, military entrance processing station.
Yeah. They
gave me some options of field artillery surveyor or chemical operations.
And
me at 19 years old, I was sitting there thinking, I could pick something that I might be able to do outside the military when I get out. Mm-hmm. Totally not the case.
Right.
So
why not?
Because the civilian market doesn't have chemical weapons.
Right. Okay. Because it's a chemical weapons, not just chemicals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's
okay,
what I'm thinking. Chemicals.
Yeah. Right.
Get a job at a chemical plant.
Right.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But took that and went with that. Went to basic training and what they call advanced individual training.
Yeah.
At Fort McClellan, Alabama.
Oh, okay.
So I was there for 8 months or 18 weeks. Then they sent me off to a little island out in the South Pacific.
So what made you join the Army? I mean, was there anything specific? Some people join because being in trouble, or they just, something different in life, or they just want to join because that's what they want to do.
I felt like I needed to do something with my life.
Right.
Something different. I was going nowhere. My parents pushed college on me.
Yeah.
I'm not the college type.
Right.
Going through high school. I just wanted to get out there and do my thing.
Yeah.
But, I was like, I needed a little bit more out of life.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's where it all kicked off.
Right. And so you joined the Army, you become a chemicals, basically chemical, what is it?
Chemical operation
for specialist for,
term.
Okay. Yeah. And, so, you enjoyed, do you enjoy doing all that?
Oh, I got to do and see and a lot of things I never thought I would be able to do.
Yeah.
Like going out to one of the world's first chemical weapons destruction facility in the world. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
The island was a prototype for the first ever.
For not for the U.S. though.
Yeah, for the
U.S., but it was in, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's considered a U.S. territory.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's about 800 miles southwest of Hawaii.
Oh.
The island is half mile wide, 2.5 miles long.
Man, that's
So,
crazy.
Yeah, you do a complete 360.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's-
nothing but water.
That's crazy.
It was
Yeah.
it was an experience.
That's definitely experience. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How long was you in the Army?
I was in for 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah. I was only out there on that island for a year. So I actually got to deal with the real thing, our actual chemical weapons.
Right.
You know, like nerve agent.
Yeah.
So some of the most nasty stuff on the planet.
Right. Right. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you was okay. So what years would have been? That would have been
That was in 95.
95.
95 to 96.
Okay. Yeah.
Then I got out, or
Yeah, because we didn't. We went to war. Well, we was probably in war.
it was after desert, the first
Desert
desert
Storm. Right. It was right after the Desert
Yeah.
Storm. So you
Then-
got lucky. You was right in between
Yeah,
to an extent. I mean,
yeah.
kinda,
I mean, I would kind of like to getting a little bit more out of it, but I think my being out there on that island was my contribution to the world.
right.
Right. The amount of chemical weapons that aren't on this planet anymore.
Right. Yeah. Kind of makes you start thinking.
Yeah, so I did my part. I was happy with that, and
Yeah.
I came back stateside.
So when you got out, what'd you end up doing then? Did you?
Oh gosh, worked a couple weird jobs. It was like just trying to find my niche.
Right, because you had something and now you're out in the real world. Like it's almost like it's crazy because you almost like get out of jail or something because you
Yeah.
get back and you're back to reality. And you're like, oh well, what do I do now?
Yeah, it's a bit of an adjustment. You go from such a lifestyle of structure.
Yeah,
Gotta be here at this time.
Yeah.
This time, gotta do this, this, and this. To what do I do now?
right.
You
That's why I ask you, like, what
it was weird. I mean,
that was probably a struggle.
yeah, I mean, before you get out, you got to go through this program to help you reintegrate back into the civilian world.
Yeah,
How to get a job, how to do
Right.
interviews, this and that, resumes and stuff like that.
right. And it makes it worse because of getting into what you got into. Like
Yeah.
if you would have become a mechanic, then you probably
That'd
would
be
have been
so
able.
much easier.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
hey, this is what I got.
And I bet there's a lot of people that don't really think about that at first. There's, it's like you want to do this trade, and then you get out, you're like, oh shoot, what am I going to do now?
Yeah. Like, you look at the guys that are infantry.
Right, right.
What are you going to do?
That's what I'm saying.
If you
Yeah,
get
what
out.
do you, right. You don't, that's
Unless you
crazy.
join some kind of paramilitary.
Right. Yeah.
But
Right.
it's kind of hard to,
Yeah. So you just basically just got a regular old job and
Yeah, I got a job at a glue factory. I was like, gotta do something. Got bills to pay.
right.
Just because you get out don't mean the bills stop. So, and I had a young son at the time, so definitely gotta
Right.
do something.
Right. So you had a son before you went in, or
Well, I was married. I was married while I was in the military. Okay, and she was in the military.
oh, okay.
We was only married for 3 years. Both spouses being in the military is very hard to do.
Yeah. I know.
I was only-
I got a friend that was.
I was only around. We was only married for 3 years, but we only was together for like a year and a half at the most. And had
Right, because you
I was gone.
It was tough.
You
Yeah.
know, so yeah. And then we had a child, and that kind of complicated things even more. I was young, she was young.
Yeah.
We thought that this is what you do in life. You get married, you have kids, and this and that, blah, blah. Try to follow the plan, and things don't work out sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
So
So when you got out, was you able to did you connect with her or connect with your child, or how'd that go?
yeah, I mean, I was able to connect with my child. We had visitation. We would meet up. I would get him for a certain amount of time. She would go back to him for a certain amount of time. That
Right,
carried
so
on
y'all
for a
kind
while.
of split.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just, so I mean, yeah, it was probably tough on you because you have to get out, work a regular job, split custody with your child. Did you remarry or did you?
I didn't get married for the longest time. I told myself, I said, I'm not going to remarry unless I find a woman that absolutely knocks my socks off.
Right, right.
So I stayed single for a long time. I mean, I dated off
Yeah.
and on, had some serious relationships I thought were going to pan out. They didn't pan out.
Okay.
But then I found a woman that I dated back in high school.
Oh man.
Yeah.
That's
And,
why it always happens, right?
Yeah. I mean, for years I was searching for her on Facebook, this and that, whatever. But come to find out, she had already gotten remarried. So therefore, the last name changed.
Right.
And one day I just randomly, started looking, found her sister. Then I went to her.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I was doing detective work here on this one, So,
Oh man.
so
that's
I found
awesome.
her. I found her sister.
Yeah.
Then I found her,
Yeah.
and we just started talking. And it was like, this time
That's
I'm not going
awesome.
to let you go. So
That's awesome.
we got married.
That's awesome.
8 years ago.
8 years ago. So you've been
years
married
ago.
8 years.
Yes, sir.
That's awesome. So was you able to bring your son? Like, was y'all able to? How'd that go? Like, did she meet your son when you got when you
No,
first?
at the time, this is when my son had passed.
Okay, I remember you telling me
yeah.
about that.
Yeah. It was like a year prior to that, my son had passed.
So a year prior, is when y'all got married. So you wasn't with her when.
No,
Okay.
no. Unfortunately, things probably would have been a lot different had she had met my son. My son had been
Right.
in.
That makes
her
you
life.
think about that sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that's not something that we can, we can't predict what, we could sit here all day and go, what could have,
Yeah, play the shoulda, coulda, woulda
Yeah.
role.
And are you okay with getting into,
We can
how
get
yours,
into it.
how yours,
I mean, I think it's something important that needs to be put out there for people.
I think it's really important because, you're a tough guy, and and I don't mean, it's like, to me, that's the toughest of the toughest. It takes the toughest to deal with something, with any type of child passing, but yeah, if you don't mind,
No, we can get into
getting
it.
into it a little bit. So I know you said something about, I know you had talked to me and you said that, I guess your ex-wife was having issues with him or whatever.
Yeah, he was diagnosed with bipolar,
Yeah.
and things weren't handled properly, as far as medications, treatment, counseling, and stuff like that. This is all hearsay from my son, so I'm not accusing her of anything.
Right,
So,
right. No, I got you.
But it was on his 18th birthday. Now, granted, our marriage was rough, so therefore our divorce was even rougher. She was bitter. I was bitter. We was both young.
Right.
So, and the custody was really not what I wanted. I wanted more. But my son became a bargaining tool,
Yeah.
which I think is unfair. You shouldn't put a child through that.
I know.
I see that so many times. It's not even real.
I know it sucks, man.
But,
It's so bad on kids.
and she was still in the military. She stayed in for quite a while. She had gotten out, and she married another soldier down in Florida. Now, granted, a couple years gone by, no notification where he was at,
Of your son?
of my son. Yeah, she just up and disappeared with him.
Oh, so she just took off with him and
Yeah.
you wasn't able to even
Yeah,
get
so there's a big gap in time. Me and him
Right.
did not have any
Gotcha.
kind of contact. I did eventually get a hold of him, and we was talking, this and that, and things were going in a good place, And on his 18th birthday, got a phone call. Of course, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. I was asleep.
Right.
And I got up, and I looked at my phone. It was a long number. Didn't recognize it. Then I checked the voicemail. Said, well, your son's going to be arriving at Louisville Airport at 5:30. You better go get him.
Huh.
Yeah. Well, I did some more Google research, the phone number and everything.
Right.
The call came from Germany. She was in Germany.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she gave him $300 and a plane ticket So I was like, all right, gotta do something.
Right.
You know,
So you're just out of the blue now. How long has this been? Like
it's been several years since I've seen him. You know,
Right.
we had talked on the phone and,
right.
you know, through other means of communication. But so, of course, all right,
Right.
this is what it is.
Right.
Let's
right,
handle it.
Right. Yeah.
So picked him up at the airport, you know, gave him a big old hug.
Right.
You know, of course, he was probably thrown off track, you know, being traumatized. My mom just kicked me out. You know, I'm 18 years old. I got no direction,
Right.
you know. So I told him, I was like, all right, this is going to be the plan. We're going to get your life in order.
Right.
We're going to get you in Job Corps,
Right.
you know, to where they'll teach you a trade and you'll get your GED.
Right.
So he's like, all right, let's try that. Well, they sent him off to Western Kentucky,
Yeah.
way out there.
At a Job Corps out there.
Yeah, yeah. And I gave him a stipulation. You know, you got to do your part. This is for you. This is this whole program is for you to better your life. You know, I'll help you any way I can, but you got to do this for you. And so the stipulation is if you get kicked out or you quit, you can't come stay with me.
Right.
You know, it's like you have to do this for you.
That's tough. I mean, you know, to be able to tell your child that.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And time went on, you know, kind of checked in on him periodically, this and that, you know. It was going okay, but I could tell he was having some problems. You know, he came back to stay with us for a little bit, you know, for like a couple weeks because he went down there for, I guess, for like an orientation.
Yeah.
And then came back.
Okay. Then came back. Yeah.
You know, came back for like a week, and then there's another class going to be starting up like within a couple weeks. So.
And you was by yourself at this time?
Yeah. I was single, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, then out of the blue, you know, get a text says, I'm in Louisville. He took a bus ticket from Western Kentucky back to Louisville because he'd gotten kicked out because he got into an altercation with another student.
He got kicked out of the boot camp. Or
Out of Job Corps, yeah, which they have a zero tolerance program, which he was well aware about.
Right.
You know, so I was like, just do this for you.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit too much for him.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah, because she didn't give him no structure or anything. I mean,
no, she just let him stay in his room. She let him drop out of high school.
right. So he come to you,
Yeah,
and you're having to give structure, and
yeah,
and that's
which is
tough on a parent. You know, I mean that's
yeah. It's like here. It's like come here. Now I'm gonna send you off to here.
right.
You know, it's like I can only imagine the kind of stress
Crazy.
he was feeling. So he tried it. It was a struggle for him. You know. But yeah, I get a text from him. Says, "Hey, I'm in Louisville. Can you come pick me up?" I was like, "Tyler," that was his name, Tyler. Like, I told you stipulations, man. Like you got to handle this. I said,
Yeah.
"You just threw away everything."
Right.
You know, I was like, I try not to sugarcoat anything to people. You know, that's kind of my downfall. Some people might take it as rude, but it's the truth.
No, I understand. I mean, because that's tough for a father and a son because that's what we want. We want to tough our kids up, and that's our job, you know. So
Yeah,
I get
it's
it.
not so much toughen up. Also, it's like come to the realization that the world is not going to.
That's what I'm saying, right? That's what I'm saying, and that's kind of what I meant by that too.
Yeah,
it's like if we don't do it, someone else in the world's going to do it,
and we're going to find out the hard way.
Right. So, yeah, I get it, man. I'm like, I'm that father. Trust me.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to do it, but you know, it's like I got to follow up.
Right. No.
Because if I don't, then
it's like, what is he? You know,
he won't.
He won't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you.
Like I'll just go back to live with Dad and sit on the couch.
Sit on the couch.
Do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like my parents. You know, they tried
And
their best.
How old was he?
He was 18.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You know, he was a couple months. You know, maybe a month or two with turning 18. So, but yeah, I mean, I held my guns and went to bed that night. Of course, I was worried about him because he's downtown Louisville. You know, of course, you know how Louisville is.
Oh yeah.
Walk down the wrong street, you're in a bad neighborhood. as versus any major metropolitan city. You know, it's like I went to bed just worried about him. And I remember waking up right at midnight because I looked at my alarm clock. It was right at midnight. I just had this overwhelming feeling that everything's okay. Everything's okay. Then I went back to sleep and I had a great night's sleep.
Yeah.
Went to work and probably about 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that, I get a phone call from my father. Just you could hear him. It's like he's just breathing heavy, just trying to get something out. But it's like, what's going on? You know, he's like, did you hear about the shooting? I'm like, what shooting? What are you talking about? He's like, Tyler's dead. I'm like, what?
Oh my gosh.
So I immediately got off the phone with him. Of course, I'm going to just about any kind of website I can, you know, local website, news. And it said, Florida man shot and killed by 2 LMPD officers. And my world just came crashing down. Because I immediately saw his name. It was the worst day of my life.
I don't know how. Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is, I don't know how you made it through it. I mean,
I'm not saying I'm something you deal with. It's something that you cope with. For the longest time, I was in a very dark place.
yeah,
Very dark place. You know. Of course, I went through all the emotions. You know, anger, denial, sadness.
Right.
And just, it took me a long time to feel that emotion of acceptance.
Right.
I mean, probably up until about 6 years ago, I had to come to terms with the acceptance.
I mean, like, that's just, I don't, yeah, I mean, that's tough for any person to have to deal with. I don't know. I mean, like, how did you not, I mean, how long did you blame yourself? I mean, like, you probably.
A long time.
Yeah, I mean, how does someone get past that? You know, how does someone get past blaming themselves?
Well, I mean, for the longest time, I was dealing with a lot of self-regret.
Yeah.
Had I gone down there to pick him up, he'd still be alive.
Right.
And that weight I carried with me for a very, very long time.
Right.
And I had nobody to relate to, you know, because nobody could understand. You know, losing a child is not natural. You know, we've all lost.
Oh, right. No, it's definitely not. Dogs, you know,
You know, older loved ones of the family.
Right,
You know, it's
right.
like that's just the cycle of life.
Yeah.
Of losing a child. I should go before him.
Yeah.
You know, before you know, he shouldn't go before me.
I know.
And I couldn't relate to anybody. So I felt so alone.
You didn't have no one that could relate to you. No one. Did you ever think about, or did you ever have to like join any groups or anything like that to like maybe talk to someone?
I thought about it, but I mean, I went and saw a therapist. It took me a long while. It's like, I need to seek some help.
Yeah.
I went and saw a therapist, but still you feel alone.
I know. No, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
And
I mean, I don't
yeah,
physically know what you're saying, but I get what you're saying.
yeah,
you know?
but it's like everybody's had the same reactions, like, "Oh man, I'm so sorry for your loss," this and that. And it's like those words mean nothing to me. Okay,
right.
I appreciate the notion,
You've heard him,
but you know, it's like I need some help, but I didn't know how to ask for help because who's going to relate to me? Who's going to understand me? You know, and over time, I've come across several people that have lost children. It's like, finally, somebody will understand me.
Yeah.
Somebody I can relate to on a level to where we have common ground. It's like, well, how did you get through this? How do you feel about this? You know, it's like, I felt this way. Did you feel that way?
Yeah.
So
you end up connecting with some people like online or something?
a close friend of mine,
Oh, okay.
you know, shout out to Matt. If you're hearing this,
Yeah.
thank you. I had a talk with him. Known him for years.
And he probably saved your life, probably.
Yeah,
like,
he did. He did.
I mean, that was.
He did. You know, but before that, I mean, I was in a very dark place,
Yeah.
you know, to where I had a barrel in my mouth, gun barrel in my mouth, ready to pull the trigger. I was like, you know how they say that these alcoholics have
Yeah.
a moment of clarity?
Mm-hmm.
I had that moment of clarity.
Right.
I was like, I can't do this
yeah.
because I'm passing on my pain
Right.
to my daughters
To everyone
and
else.
my other family members.
Yeah.
I can't do this to them. It's just going to perpetuate the cycle,
Yeah.
you know, because what I'm going through, they're going to have to carry for the rest of their life. Then where's that going to get them?
Yeah.
I mean,
So now, you think that maybe have a little bit to do with you hunting down your high school sweetheart? Just to kind of get that love, that peace?
possibly, I think
And
so.
I don't mean to like, I mean,
yeah,
it
yeah.
just kind of
Like
makes
trying
me,
to seek comfort.
yeah, because you're needing comfort, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like, I
at the
get that.
time of my son's passing, I was dating a girl.
Right. Oh, okay. I got what
She
you're
was. It wasn't a good relationship,
saying. Right.
you know. Cause
So
it
kind of made it worse then.
it kind of made it worse because it's like at the time it's like I needed somebody to talk to, and she, you know, wasn't there with me, you know, like mentally, you know, as a relationship should be working. You know, if one's hurting, hey, you know, I'm gonna be there to help you out. But I saw that, I was like, done. We're done. You know, I was like,
Right.
I got too much on my plate. I don't need this. You know, I've lost my son.
Yeah.
You know, I need to do something about my life.
So, you know, for people out there and, you know, that hear this, you know, like you're basically saying that the biggest thing that helped you, because you was in a dark place and you was, it was all bad until you talked to one friend,
Yeah.
which basically that would be the thing that you could tell people, right? Is talk to someone,
Yeah.
regardless. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to find. It's like a must. You have to find someone to talk to.
Yeah. I mean, one thing, like I said, going through all the emotions, you know, it's great that everybody, you know, came there together for me for a while.
Yeah.
But but in the end, everybody kind of goes back to the normal lives.
Right.
But while
right.
I'm sitting here stuck with this,
Yeah.
like the dust clears, it's like, what now?
Right.
It's like, I need some help.
Yeah.
And I was just sitting there, went and visited some friends, and I went and talked to my friend Matt. Come to find out he had lost a child. I'd known this guy for a couple of years now.
And he never talked about it.
Never talked about it. You know, which I can understand why.
Right.
You know, because I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to let anybody know because I didn't want the pity. You know,
Right.
it's like,
You're sick of it. You're sick
yeah,
of it.
yeah. It's like, I'm sorry about hearing the sorry for your losses. You know, this
Right.
man is like, just
I would
treat
be
me,
the same way.
yeah, treat me like a person.
I
You
would be
know,
the same way. I get it.
you know, it's like, hey, how are you doing? This and I don't need that. Just say,
Right.
hey, you know, just
Right.
be there. Treat me normal.
And that makes it tougher because then you don't want to talk to someone.
Yeah, because it just brings it all
It just
back.
builds. But I'm saying, like, by not mentioning it,
Yeah,
because you don't want to, because all you get is, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then you're like,
Yeah.
you know, so that makes people bottle it in even more.
yeah, and
because
it's like a really
that's
touchy subject.
right. That's what's good about talking to someone that has had that happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's major to talk to someone that's had it, because he's not going to pity you as much.
Yeah.
Because he knows how it is. So
Yeah,
you're
he
both
can't-
going to have a good conversation. So was there, and this may help anyone that's listening too, was there anything that that Matt, because you know you're going to Matt, you're going, hey, what do I do, bro? Like,
Yeah.
I'm dealing with this, man. I
Yeah.
need help. What is there some keys that he gave you?
Well, I told him about all the regret that I was carrying, you know, and my parents know about this. I was, you know, carrying a lot of regret. Had I gone down there to pick him up, he'd still be alive. You know, they're like, well, you don't know that. He might have found some other way
Yeah.
to self-destruct, you know,
Right.
pretty much.
That's true.
you know,
That's true.
which is very true,
Right.
but just saying that
I
still
know.
doesn't take it away.
I know.
You
I
know. But I was talking to my friend Matt, you know, he's like, You can't do that to yourself. You cannot do that to yourself. He's like, as much as you love your son, he made that choice. You know, he made those
Right.
2 officers make that choice for him
Right.
because it was suicide by cop.
Right.
You know, and he says, you'll know it, but one day you got to look yourself in the mirror. You got to tell yourself, I forgive you. You know,
Right.
it took me a long time to get to that moment.
To look at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and I did it. And one day it just came over me. It's like, it's time.
I'm gonna do it.
You know, so look myself in the mirror, says, I forgive you. It was like, just those words alone,
Yeah.
it felt like a ton of weight come off of me.
Yeah.
You know, so I can only, tell people that have gone through this that you will make it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be strong. You got to surround yourself with good people,
Yeah.
genuine people.
Yeah.
You know, not just the part-timers want to stick around,
Right.
Then go away when the dust clears.
Right.
You got to surround yourself with good people.
Yeah.
And I can't thank my wife enough. After a year afterwards, when we reconnected, man, she's been awesome.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Right. So she's probably supported you a lot.
Oh yeah.
It's been a blessing having her,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
was it tough for you at first? Because at first, you're trying to be
yeah.
happy with this girl at the same time.
Trying to navigate a new relationship
at the same
along
time.
with, the recent,
Right.
loss
But
of my
that probably
son.
helped you too, though. I mean,
was. It's kind of like a therapy emotion. Like, hey, there is somebody here that's going to love me.
Right,
It's going
right.
to, help me through the tough times. Because there'll be sometimes I'll be sitting there watching TV and something happens to a child, instant tears.
Oh my gosh.
Instant tears. And she knew it. She knew why. She didn't ask any questions. She just came up and gave me a hug. And,
Yeah.
every now and then, just thinking about it makes me tear up. But
Oh, I know. I mean, that's got to be yeah. I mean, yeah.
but
That's the one thing that I've always thought that just, I don't know if I could live with,
it's a lot of people said that.
I know.
A lot of people
So
said that.
crazy,
And
man.
it's so easy for people to go to a dark place and stay there.
Yeah.
People I've heard, turn to alcohol, turn to drugs,
Yeah.
and just self-destruct because they don't know how to deal with that sadness.
What about her? What about his mom? Did she blame you, or did she how's she doing? Is she?
Well, we
How
don't
does
really
she take
talk
it?
much, but of course, when it happened, I tried reaching out with her husband, still active in the military.
Yeah.
The best way to deal with that is contact the American Red Cross. We reached out to them. I knew her social security number. I knew her date of birth,
Right.
which helps them kind of narrow down where she's at.
Right.
But they had a hard time trying to find her. Because she got remarried, last name changed. So they tried effortlessly to locate her, to notify her. Yeah. Well, apparently a couple weeks had gone by, and she's like, well, I haven't heard from Tyler for a while. And you would think she would text me or call me.
Right.
Didn't. I was like, okay, but apparently she saw it on the internet. And all this was all caught on video too of my son's
Oh
death.
my gosh.
So, but then she got a hold of me. Of course, she was bawling, which she has every right to, to feel that way.
Well, yeah.
It's just told her that's just it sucks. But
Right. So she just after 2 weeks, she didn't,
yeah, she didn't know for a long
Right.
time.
But she wasn't trying to point the finger at anyone or
no.
anything like that. She
No.
was more just,
She was wanting to try to find out.
And I just
figure out-
ask that because
Yeah,
some
yeah.
people do,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's anger that comes out,
Yeah, and that's perfectly reasonable way to feel.
Yeah, because she sends him to you, and
Yeah, and here here he is, he's
Yeah.
dead.
right, and you're like, oh my gosh, and yeah,
Yeah, it's just kind of let her know what all happened. she had seen the video, which I didn't want her to watch it, and haven't really talked to her since. She tried to reach out a couple more times, but I have my reservations of how I want to deal with my son's mother.
Right.
It's like, okay, things didn't work out between me and her. That's fine. That's life.
Yeah.
But, there's no more connection between me and her.
Right. Yeah.
So it's time to focus on myself
instead
of trying to help somebody else heal.
Right.
But it was a tough time for a while.
Yeah.
And little things that I've noticed. I mean, I don't know how spiritual you are. I have my beliefs. I was raised Catholic. I'm not practicing, but I still have certain beliefs.
Yeah.
But that time I told you how I woke up right at midnight. Come to find out, he was pronounced at 11:20 p.m.
And it was an angel, basically, telling.
I think I have a firm belief that Tyler come and visited me and let me know, it's like, hey, I'm okay.
Man.
I was like, because I slept so well after that.
That's so crazy.
Then I wake up and find out he's dead. And there's been other little things I've noticed. It's like, is Tyler visiting me?
Right. Like he's almost like he's in comfort. Like for some reason, you just think, he was in misery and now he feels like, I don't know.
Like there's no more pain.
Right. It's so crazy, man. Yeah. I don't know what these kids, where the pain comes from,
Well, we talked prior to this. The generation we grew up in, because we're both Gen Xers.
Right.
The world we grew up in no longer exists.
No.
Things were a lot simpler.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have cell phones. All we had was a phone connected to the wall.
Yeah. We had bikes with no helmets.
Yeah. Yeah, you could always tell where everybody was at because, you see whose bike is over there.
See a bunch of bikes in the yard.
Yeah, run around the neighborhood all day, all night long until the streetlights come on. Yeah. But, it's like we were told, hell, we was left at home because both our parents worked. It's like, hey, this is how you make something in the microwave.
Right. Yeah.
You're hungry?
It was the good old days.
Yeah. But, we didn't know how good we had it.
Right.
But kids nowadays is like, the world moves so much faster.
Yeah.
I can just imagine what it's like growing up.
I know.
In today's age.
I couldn't imagine. I really couldn't imagine being, that age right now. Yeah. It's just for what you have in your hand. Back when we were kids, we didn't. I mean, there's just so much stuff that you have right at your palm of your hand, and you don't need.
Yeah.
My boys was showing me stuff where, my sons would come up to me and be like, Dad, look, this is a video. This guy, this terrorist killed this one, and it's real. And you could almost like it. It's like this video's leaked, and they end up taking it off the internet. But there's videos out there that leak that are really murdering, like.
Yeah, and there's no filter.
They filter.
Don't blur anything out.
And like my boys are seeing this shit,
yeah.
And it's just like, oh my gosh. There's so many kids out here that are just instead of going and talking to someone, they're committing suicide.
Yeah, it's like a lost society. They're mentally lost. It's like when you're 50, you didn't know what you want to do with your life when you was 15 years old.
No.
You know what I mean? Now they put so much pressure, and they see these, I call them influencers. You're not influencing them.
No.
You're trying to push them towards how this is how life should be. Like I'm on a beach, I have a boat, because this and that and that. It's like, that's not real life.
Right.
It's make believe. These people are doing that for clicks because they want the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, that is not real life. Real life is getting up and going to work every day and showing up. And doing the work.
And that's what, and that's another thing, that's what gets, because they see that this person's living a life. They don't really know that this person's really not living that life. This person's still got bills to pay. He's still sitting on the couch figuring out how he's going to pay the power bill.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's driving in his Corvette on TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean, they might look happy on camera, but the minute that camera goes off,
they're dealing with things,
Yeah.
and that's the thing, and that's what these kids got to look at. They go, "Oh my gosh, well, he's living such perfect. He's not dealing. Yeah, he's dealing with stuff too, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're not the only one.
Yeah.
Like everyone's dealing with something. It's just the way this world is. But going back to what you were saying, when you're I don't know what age I would actually say is an age where you feel like you know what you want to do in life, because I think I almost still don't know if I'm there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we're all a work in progress. We
it's
really
like,
are.
I mean, I'm 45, and it's like, it's just, so like, I can only imagine, when I think back when I was 20, I definitely didn't know what I wanted.
No.
Even 20. So
Yeah.
much less 15 or 16, and so, it's just, and that's what they push, and that's another thing. It push, when I say they, it's just people on the internet, period. Well, by 30, you should own a house and this and that and all this. And when someone's not at 30,
makes them feel like they're failing in life.
like they're failing in life.
You know, it's like a lot of people, you hear that term, it's like, oh, you got this, must be nice.
Right.
But they don't realize the hustle that you've had to do to get to where you're at in life.
Yep.
Me and my wife, we bought our house. We were 42 years old, 43 years old. We bought our house.
Yeah. Right.
I think I'm behind the 8 ball on that one.
Right. But I mean, there's a lot of people that's bought their house at 40. There's people that's bought their first house at 50.
Yeah, but there's some people that are still written, which I'm not knocking on them.
Right.
But they don't, a lot of people's like, oh, you got a nice house. Not that nice. I mean, there's nicer, but it's within our budget.
Right.
But a lot of people, say, oh, it must be nice. It's like, you don't realize the work I've had to put into, just to get to where I'm at today.
Yeah.
I'm still working on trying to get better at life, but it's like, you got to put the work in.
Yeah.
Even if it means staying an hour later every single day.
Right.
Get that work in.
Yeah. I mean, my buddy just said that on a podcast. He was on one of the last podcasts we just did. He was talking about how people come up to him all the time and say, yeah, it must be nice, because he's got a, $70,000, $80,000 truck pulling a box trailer full of every Milwaukee that you could think of. I mean, like any man's dream. You open this trailer, you're like, oh,
like a man shed on wheels.
Just like, and so he gets it a lot. People are like, man, it must be nice. And he's like, yeah, it's nice. I work my butt off.
Yeah,
it's
I was like, I got a decent truck. I
This
mean,
ain't
it's not
something
the best.
I just,
But, it's like,
yeah.
I finance
Right,
it.
same here. You know what
I'm
I
not
mean?
paying
It's
for,
like,
I don't pay for a lot of stuff in cash. But, I make sure it's within my means.
Right.
A lot of people, they
Get over their means.
They go over their means. It's like, how you doing this?
Yeah. And see, I've never been able to have anything on payments just because I don't want to go over my means.
If you can do that, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I've been blessed I've worked for myself for 16 years. So I have been blessed with, when I do jobs, I get, we get a nice big job knocked out. It gives me a little room to go, I'm going to buy me a new truck. And when I say new truck, I don't mean new. Like I own a 14 Ram, and that's new to me.
Yeah.
So.
But it's good enough.
Right.
It does the job.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't think I've ever had a brand new vehicle,
Yeah.
And I probably could. I probably could have.
But you don't want to overextend yourself because you know your limits.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've had I've had family members and other people, say, man, you would think that, why don't you go buy you a $500,000 house? You can. And I'm just like, no. I'm fine where I'm at.
Yeah,
like, I don't want to be in debt. Yeah, I could.
It's like one thing that, you've seen the movie Fight Club, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Where the guy says, what you end up owning owns you.
Right.
That's the thing. And like, that's so true.
So true.
Because then you are a slave
to that.
Because if you want to live that kind of lifestyle,
you're
going to be working your butt off for the rest of your life.
Exactly.
So
unless you come across some money or something, and and it's okay to be in that lifestyle if you're beyond that lifestyle.
if
so
if you meet the requirements,
if you make $300,000 a year, then you can probably afford $1 million house or $500,000 house.
How many people make that kind of money though?
That's what I'm saying. So, and that's the thing. But people want that living with working, $70,000 a year, and they're like, "Oh, I'm making good money. I'm gonna go buy me a $50,000 truck." No,
Okay. Well,
I'm sorry,
have
I
fun with
wouldn't.
that.
But there's people, and I'm trying to teach that to my son right now too. He wants, and I'm surprised that he's not actually. I'm kind of proud of him that he's listened to me and not actually went and signed the papers on a vehicle. But he's talked about it, going and, oh, I want the Scat Pack and this and that, and I can get it for $20,000. I'm like, bro, you are not in the means to have a $20,000 car.
Yeah.
There's so many other things that you can do than to buy this car. That's really you're not going to be able to work out of it, because we paint, so he works for me, and it's just like, and I'm glad that he's not really, pulled the trigger and went and done that. But it's like so many people do that because they like, oh, I want this.
Well, I saw this person on TikTok or Instagram. They got this. This is nice. I want that too. I want the likes. I want the attention. But
and then you go to the car lot, and the car lot's like, oh yeah, just give us $3,000 down.
What's your credit score or whatever?
Yeah,
and they pull up the credit score. It's like 250. It's like you can't afford this. Right. It's like you'd be lucky to finance a Hyundai. Right. Right. But if you just let them know, it's like, hey, if this is what you really want, set a goal for yourself to, hey, this is what I want. This is what I have to do to get to this goal. And a lot of people, they want that. They want the cheat code to get to what they want. Yeah. It's like you got to put in the work, man. Right. And I think the work ethic isn't really taught nowadays.
It's not, no.
And my parents, they've taught me work ethic. Yeah.
And it's like, I want to say, and it's, in a way, it's our fault as a parents, but it's not, because we look what we have to work with. Like, we try, just like with you, and your son, but it's like at the same time, they've got so much of the phone and all this other stuff in their ears that it's like they hear little.
How can you compete with that?
Right. You're not, the world's like this.
Yeah.
And then you're like this, so they barely hear you and they hear the world,
Yeah, me and my wife's daughter, is like we're trying to show her the path, of how, things should work, like what my parents have taught me and what her, parents have taught her, trying to like, hey, this is what you have to do. This and that. We could show them the path, but they have to be the ones that walk it.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, is a lot of that generation, in spite of sounding old, that it's they have to learn the work ethic until they're forced to walk that path. They won't do it.
I don't know. That's the one thing when it's like, oh, I've heard people, oh, you're an old man now. You got grandkids. I'm like, I always joke around and be like, no, I'm 20, but I actually, I'll be honest with you. I'm proud to be a Gen X.
Hey, you know what? We had the best growing up. I look back at it. I was like, man, we had it so easy.
Right. Yeah. Right. We don't realize how easy we actually had it until now. Yeah. And what's crazy is the generations now is going to realize how good they have it until. I mean,
how long will it take them to realize that?
Right. But I don't even know what we're gonna. I don't even know what. I mean,
that's the thing. They're going to have to learn the hard way. Yeah. I mean, I was hard headed. Ask anybody. I was hard headed growing up.
Yeah. I mean, I
can still be hard headed. Ask my wife.
So getting back on, how is things for you now? I mean,
Well, I'm 10 years in, from Tyler's death. I want to say it's something you get over.
Right.
It's something you cope with and accept. That was the hardest thing, was the accepting part. I was like, I don't have a son anymore. Right. And I kind of watch what I say to certain people because I don't want to make it a topic,
Right.
It's like, oh, well, how many kids you got? Like, well, It's like, well, I got $2. So, you know, if I say, well, I got 3 kids, you know, a son and a daughter, you know, or I had a son, you know, and they're like, I was like,
That's the toughest part right there.
yeah, but you learn to accept it
Yeah.
and cope. You know?
Yeah, because everyone you come in contact with, they have no choice. And it's not their fault. They feel for you.
No, exactly.
But it's like, you're just like, oh God, here we go.
Yeah. You know, it's like, I got my daughter's name and my son's name, you know, and I got their birth dates on there. I took 2 weeks off when Tyler passed, you know, to kind of give myself.
Oh, yeah,
you know,
I bet you needed
I
it.
had to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I was like, because I
100%.
was not in the right place.
Why?
You know, and
Can only imagine.
I went back to work. The very first day I went back to work,
Oh my God.
I was wearing short sleeves because this was back in August, because he had passed August 5th, 2015, which is 5 days for my birthday. So, you know, each birthday is pretty rough. But guy looked at my tattoos, like, and then he saw the date. He's like, oh, did somebody die? I'm like,
Here we go.
I was like, if you must know, yes. You know, my son passed 2 weeks ago. You know, it's like, oh man, I feel so sorry. And I was like, here we go. It's just, you know, just start it up again. And, you know, it's like the emotions would come in waves. You know, it's like some days be tidal waves, some just be, you know, just minor waves. But, you know, when he said that, and it's like, you know, I kind of feel bad for him because, like, he didn't know.
Right.
He didn't know. So, but, you know, it's like you kind of overlook that, you know, and kind of give some people some tolerance because it's like, you know, they don't know. They've never been through it. So it's like, it's not sparing them, but showing them some, you know, showing restraint because they don't know.
So, like, you took 2 weeks off. When you went back to work, did you just get over? Did people just overwhelm? Like, because they all.
Oh,
knew?
yeah. Oh, yeah. First day.
That was probably the toughest day. He was like,
it was.
You just probably want to be like, get away, please stop.
Yeah, because during those 2 weeks, I was a hermit.
Oh my gosh,
it was all over
man.
the news. It was
Right.
all over the news.
And you go to work and it's like, oh my gosh.
You know?
I bet you dreaded the day just to pull up to the.
Yeah, I mean, the people at work knew.
Right.
Know,
and you
knew
didn't want to
it.
go there because you didn't want to face them.
Yeah, I mean, it was all over the news. It was in the paper, this and that, you know, because you know, at the time, LMPD was already on the radar for police brutality and stuff like that. This is shortly before the Breonna Taylor incident.
Yeah.
So, and there was already under a lot of, you know, scrutiny. So, and I didn't, you know, for those 2 weeks, I didn't really show myself out in public.
Yeah.
You know, it was like going to the store. It's like I felt like people were going to be like, "Oh, that's the guy."
That's the
you know,
guy,
his son was shot and killed by 2 police officers.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, so I was like, I don't want that kind of attention. I need to heal.
Did you get that? I mean, did you have that?
No, I didn't get that, but it's like how I felt.
Right.
You know,
was you like on the news? I mean,
yeah. The day me and my parents were making his final arrangements, the news team came to the funeral home.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and you know.
So now everyone knew.
So I was like, all right, you know. So I was like, I told my parents, I was like, let me handle this. You know, so I went out there on camera. It's like, no, he didn't do drugs. I said, no, blah, 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 blah. He was in a bad place. You know, don't blame those officers. You know, which, you know, we'll get into, you know, actually meeting one of the officers here in a little bit. But, you know, just say, hey, it was a justified shooting.
Right.
You know, and of course, you're going, you know, the media will twist and turn every single angle just to fit their, you know, certain agenda.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was like, when I went back to work, you know, he got the, oh, I'm sorry about your son. Sorry for your loss, this and that, whatever. It's like, just leave me alone, please.
Yeah.
Just leave me alone. I'll respect, just leave me alone. You know, of course, you get those people like, oh, what happened, this and that, blah, 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 blah. Then you get the armchair quarterbacks. Well, they didn't have to shoot and kill him. They had to, you know, they could have just shot him in his leg. That's like, just stop.
Right.
Just stop.
Right.
You know, until you're in that situation that those police officers were in, don't sit there and try to say how you would do this, how you would do that, because, you know, it's like,
right, you don't
they're the
know.
ones that got, you know, they got to do it. So
Yeah.
it was trying for a while.
Yeah.
You know, and another thing is like actually my boss at the time, he kind of said, you know, said something with me that kind of stuck with me and actually helped drive me through
Really?
this. he was in the military. I was in the military. Come to find out, we was at the exact same post at the exact same time, just right down the street from each other. We didn't know that until later on.
Right.
And I mean, I'm not the best employee. I do my part, and
Right. No, I
get the job done. And he told me on the phone, it's like, I know the type of person you are. This is not going to beat you. And that just like struck a chord at me. It's like,
Right.
if he sees that I'm,
That's
strong,
awesome.
emotionally strong,
Right.
I guess I am.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So everybody kind of just kept their distance for a while. I just dove into work. I just
Right.
focused on work. It's like the one thing I could actually do well.
Right.
It'll be a temporary escape.
Right.
You only do it for so long.
Right.
Those demons will come back.
Oh yeah.
They will come back if you don't deal with it head on.
Yeah.
So, and I did seek out, some help, but still wasn't fulfilling.
Right.
Now
you said you had you had talked to the officer
Yeah.
beforehand,
The
or after all this happened.
yeah, after it all happened, I had a meeting with LMPD police chief and his staff and some of the investigators involved. Just what I thought would be some kind of closure.
Right.
Trying to get a little
Was
bit
it?
more. Not really. It kind of brought up some stuff. I didn't want to know all the details.
Oh man.
Like how many times he was shot or this and that, whatever. Of course, they got to do their due diligence. You got police shooting. They're
Right.
going to investigate thoroughly. They're looking
Right.
at text messages. They're looking at the police officer's history.
Right.
His past conduct, this and that.
Right.
I mean, they got to cover all the bases.
Every single
Which I totally understand.
Right.
But I was come to find out, and I asked for the police officers to be in that meeting too. Just to tell them face to
Right.
face,
Right.
how I feel. But that being, I guess, a sensitive subject, they wouldn't allow the officers there. Well, come to find out, one of them had transferred from LMPD to another town,
Right.
the same town I lived in East Louisville.
Oh man.
Yeah, I was like, man, small world. What are the chances? So I remember I'm pulling into my little apartment complex I lived in at the time. There's
God works in mysterious ways.
absolutely,
I'm just saying.
absolutely. And I totally agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Because there was some kind of incident that happened in my apartment complex. A couple cops were there, and I pull up, one of the cops is sitting in his car. He's like, hey, do you know officer? I'm not going to say his name, just
You're
for
fine.
his.
You ain't got to.
I said, hey, do you know officer so-and-so? He's like, yeah. I said, could you give him a message for me? Like, yeah. It's like, but you can tell him for yourself. He's just right around the corner. I'm like, oh, shit.
Ain't that crazy?
I was like, it's better time than ever.
Right.
So I walked up to him. He automatically knew who I was.
Automatically. I bet he was like,
Automatically.
oh.
He's probably like, oh, where's this going to go? It's going to either go good or bad.
Right.
Like,
can only
man, like,
imagine.
this is the guy I shot his son.
Right.
This is not going to be good.
And this is the officer that actually
Yes.
did it.
That was actually,
Oh my gosh.
actually involved in it. I walked up to him. I said, hello, officer so-and-so.
Yeah.
I said, name's Steve. My son's Tyler. Shook his hand. I looked him dead in his eyes. I said, I don't hold any kind of animosity towards you, but I tell you, I would have done the exact same thing if I was in your shoes.
Yeah.
I said, you did nothing wrong.
Right.
And
how long ago was this?
Just probably like 6-7 months later.
Oh, okay.
I was like, wow. It's like, because, once I found out he worked in the same town that I lived in, come across, police officer
Right.
here and there. It's like, hey,
Right.
do you know so-and-so? It's like, yeah.
Right.
They're like, yeah. It's like, could you tell him, like,
And then he was right there. I mean,
yeah. I said, hey, can you tell him, like, I hope he's doing well?
Yeah.
And no, matter of fact, it was a little bit longer than that, because I remember on the year anniversary,
Okay. Yeah.
I went and got a card and wrote, several sentences in there. Hope you're doing well. Just letting them know how I feel.
Right.
That there's no ill will towards them. And I dropped it off at the police station and say, make sure officer so and so gets this.
Yeah.
Didn't seal it or anything. Just give it to him. And that day I met him, shook his hand, gave him a hug. You kind of you could see how relieved he was.
Right. That's awesome.
Because
people don't realize that he's got that over his shoulder too.
Yeah, he's got to carry it for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Of course,
Of what he could have done. Because he's doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
What if I would have done this? What if I would have? He went home that night going, man, if I would have, maybe I could have just kicked him, or maybe I could have, it's like, oh my gosh, I could only imagine. People don't think about that.
Yeah,
People
the whole
think
scenarios will probably run through his head like crazy.
just like yours. Both of you. Both of you got.
And then getting pressure from work.
Yeah.
Got to deal with internal affairs, investigations, up
That's
the wazoo, going through his text, going through his history, this and that,
I'll be honest with you, man. After hearing that, and this is my opinion. I'm no professional here, but I think that's when you really got relief, because you was able to give that officer relief, and deep inside, if whether you know this or not, you probably immediately was like, okay, I did something that was definitely that's major to fixing yourself.
Yeah, I mean, my heart
Because
definitely went out to him.
Who couldn't do that? There's not very many parents that has done that.
Yeah.
Or could do that.
Yeah, as fortunate as it was, I lost a son in it, but you got to realize it affects more than just me.
Right.
And this whole situation is not about me.
Right.
That guy's got to carry that for the rest of his life.
It affects a lot of people.
It's going to be on his service record for the rest of his life, as long as he's a police officer.
It affects every person. You think about this. How many people came to that scene? 20? 30?
Yeah.
I mean,
Probably more.
like fire department, ambulance.
Yeah, other officers.
Every person that came to that scene was affected.
Yeah, and they're going to go
Because that's
they
a
went through that whole
teenage
area.
kid that is laying there,
Yeah.
So, yes, there's so many people affected,
Yeah.
And that's what people don't realize, and it makes you even stronger to realize that, and man, I mean, hats to you, bro. Like, I'm, just by you realizing that makes you a hell of a man.
Well, I appreciate that. I know that guy was hurting as well.
Right.
Because I'm sure he's got a family.
Right.
And he's got to carry that weight.
Yeah.
Forever.
That's crazy. So,
Right.
I mean, you don't like now. I mean, you just you said you have a daughter.
Yes, I have 2 daughters and a stepdaughter. Which
Okay.
I call her my daughter as well.
Okay.
And
Now you have 2 daughters from your
previous relationships. Yeah.
from the same his sisters.
No.
Okay.
No. I
Sorry.
was a little active.
No,
my-
that's
my
fine.
younger years.
Hey, we all. No.
Yeah.
Hey, I get it, man.
Yeah.
But so you have okay. So, did they know him at all?
Very little, because they were
Yeah.
from different mothers.
Right.
Um,
But they was probably still affected a little bit.
oh yeah,
by it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, the day I found, the day I found out, I beelined it to my youngest daughter. She needs to know.
Right.
Told the mothers, like, I'm coming over. Don't turn on the TV. Leave it off. I came in. She, they left us together in the room, and I told her. I told my daughter. She instantly started crying.
How old was she?
She was, I believe, she was 10. She was 12 at
Oh
the time.
man.
Just old enough to understand.
Yeah.
So then I got her to worry about. The whole world came crashing down, but at the same time, it was like everything else just stopped. Nothing else was a priority.
Yeah.
You got to deal with how to tell my kids, and got funeral arrangements. Then you got this, and you got the media chasing after you.
I know.
They was coming to my home.
Right.
Luckily I wasn't there.
Because they want the story.
The guy had the hot scoop.
Yeah.
But and kind of find out too, the girl I was with, she was feeding them information of where I was at.
Oh,
They was
man.
going to come to a restaurant to where we was at just to
Oh, my
decompress.
gosh.
I was like, you call them right now, you tell them to back off. Because that's the last thing I want to do is have a microphone and camera shoved in my face.
Right.
You
Oh, my gosh.
just so they can get the ratings.
It's so crazy, man.
They're so cruel. It's just
It really is.
just let somebody heal.
Right.
It's
so crazy. It's all it's about.
Yeah.
I mean,
all about the ratings and all about the clicks, man.
Yeah. And it's the good stuff's never important.
Yeah.
Why can't you chase around the good stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always something bad that happens that you got to,
Yeah, every time I get up, I pull up my phone. Oh, so and so died, or so and so. How many shootings there
Right.
were? It's like,
And and again, that goes back to the fact that people want to commit suicide, because if you really go on there, you pay attention to all that,
it's going to affect you.
Me and my wife, this ain't no lie, me and my wife we got into a little spot where we were watching the news every night. It was just a thing. I don't know why we got into that little role. We just did. We'd put it on the news. It was just a thing. We put on the news. And I swear it got to the point, me and her looked at each other one day and was like, this is crazy. Every single night there's a murder in Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, we just got to the point to where we're like, I don't see any use in this. What is this doing for us? Other than making us think about how bad Louisville is. So it's like, we just stopped watching the news. We never watch news. If I feel like I need to watch the news about something or catch up on
short
something,
doses.
I'll get short doses. But you really should not dwell in the news. I'm sorry. If someone feels different, then if that's your thing, it's your thing. But honestly, you should not just dwell in what's going on out there.
It will affect you, man.
It's okay
like,
to know.
It'll make you feel like, man, this is an ugly world we live in.
Right.
It's like I find myself taking breaks from news a lot.
Yeah, you got to.
Like, I was like, I'll watch it heavily when there's like a major
when
election
something's
coming
going
up,
on.
or if
election,
there's like a major event that just happened, what just happened in
Same here.
Australia.
Yep.
And
that's okay.
Yeah,
but you get off.
Got cut it off right then and there.
And really, it's okay to I think it's okay more to kind of watch more of, try to see what's going on, in that area versus like local news.
Put out more than one story besides just hate.
Right. It's crazy.
But they'll all do it for clicks and ratings. It's sick.
So how's your daughter's now?
She's 23.
23. That's your youngest?
Yeah. Well, they're both 23.
Oh, they're both 23.
And then my stepdaughter / daughter, she's 22.
Okay, so they're so you got
they're adults and they're doing well. I'm proud of
good.
them.
That's good. That's
very
awesome.
proud of them.
Yeah, that's good. That's gives you something to kind of look forward to too. And so they're in your life real good right now. Yeah. That's good. That's awesome. And they live here and
one of them lives on the outskirts of Louisville.
Oh, okay.
So it's a little bit of a stretch for her to come out here, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
And that one lives in North Carolina.
Okay.
She's a physical therapist.
Oh man,
so she's doing quite well.
There you go. Yeah. That's always of a dream of ours is for our kids to do something better than what we did.
Yeah. And I was just sitting there talking about my wife the other day about this. It's like, it's funny how we want our children to do better in life than what we are. I mean, me and my wife, we're in a good place.
Right.
But we want our kids to do better. We want them to have the full experience.
That's exactly what it's the way it should be. You know, and I tell my son that all the time. I'm like, bro, I want you to do better than me. Don't look at me like, I'm up here. You need to look at me like you're here, Dad, but I'm and I'm trying to push that on my son now because I own my own business, painting, and I've been like pretty much trying to like bring him in full, like splitting the company with him and trying to get him to step up, and I tell him, I'm like, dude, you can make this company more than what I've ever made it.
Oh yeah.
And so like I'm like, you got to want to, and you got to do it,
That's the thing. It's like you got to want it. You have to
Right.
want it.
And so that's just what we want for our kids, to do better than what we do.
And I think my parents were the exact same way. They wanted me to be,
they did.
better than them.
Yep.
My dad was quite
That's what it should
successful.
be. Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's like you can't teach them work ethic. They have to learn on their own.
Right.
I think they have to go through hardships just to learn. It's like, hey, if I'm going to get somewhere in life is going to suck for a little bit, but it'll pay off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I talked to my daughter, and it's like, you think things are rough now.
Yeah.
Life is yet to screw you.
Yeah.
Because it's only going to get worse.
It will.
It's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
But it'll get you somewhere, but you got to want it. You really have to want it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that want it more than you. So it's a competition. It's a stiff market out there for these good jobs.
Yeah.
And if you don't put out, you're going to be left behind.
No, I know, man. It's but I will tell you, it's the good thing is the blue collar industry is going to be.
That's the place to be.
That's the place it's going to, that's the place to be, man.
Colleges nowadays, in my opinion, I think they're just big indoctrination camps.
Yeah.
It's like, to succeed in life, you got to go by A, B, C, and D. Well, not everybody's cut out for A, B, C, and D. Got to get off the beaten path. I mean, if you're a painter,
right,
plumber, electrician, steel worker, truck driver. If you get out there, you put in the work.
Yeah, you make
really put in the work. It's going to suck in the beginning.
Yeah,
but you stay with it, and you're really good at it. You take pride in your work. It will pay off. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right, nothing does.
But it will pay off eventually.
Well,
but you gotta want it.
The thing about it is with the blue collar world is with this AI stuff and all this stuff's going on. It's like there's gonna be so many people that are gonna be not with jobs, and so the blue collar world is gonna be hitting.
It's gonna be
it's gonna be a lot more. Like you're gonna be able to make a lot more money.
Yeah.
It's going to just skyrocket.
Yeah, if you learn just one trade,
yes,
that will carry you for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I'm blue collar, you're blue collar. Yeah. If I could quit my job right now, I'll have a job offer within a day or two.
Right.
But it's like, but you gotta want it.
Yeah,
your work ethic will carry you a long ways.
Yeah. Well, Steve, man, it was really nice having you on, man.
Appreciate you having me.
I'm inspired by your story, man, and I think a lot of people are gonna, I think you've helped a lot of people just by getting on here and talking about how you've dealt with it. You know what I mean? That's tough, and I know you've helped a lot of people already without even getting on here.
I hope so.
There ain't no. I guarantee you, because you may not even know it, but if you, and I know it may be hard, but if you ever, in the grocery store, if you ever, God may nudge you, man, and say, hey, this person needs to hear it. You never know when you was that guy in the grocery store.
I hope so.
And in person in front of you that's dealing with it and don't know, So, it may be a little bit on your, head, what I'm saying, to have that, but you may really have a purpose to try to, you got to remember, if you ever come across someone that's, down and out, you never know what they're dealing with,
Yeah, I've come across one other person that have lost a child, and I try to talk to them about, not make it about me, but like say, hey, this is what I'm going through. You might go through this too.
Yeah.
But, the only thing I can say is surround yourself with good people.
Yeah. Right.
People that just won't up and leave when the dust clears.
Yeah.
But that will stay with you, support you. You'll go a long way with good people around you. a good support group, good, just genuinely good people
Yeah.
will help you.
All right, man. Well, we're gonna cut it off there, man. I appreciate having you on. It was nice.
Like, okay, mental health, men's mental health. Has anybody asked you if you're okay?
No.
I went to jail for the first time when I was 10.
And
yourself
ask
if you're
yourself,
okay.
yeah, are you okay? Ask
That's
yourself,
a
are
good
you
one.
okay? You gotta be careful because that snake will get you.
First band I was in, I was 16 years old.
It's a lot of heartbreak,
Yes.
a lot of misdirection.
Right.
Drug use gets worse, gets better, gets worse, gets better, gets way worse.
My brother quit.
Just quit cold turkey.
Cold turkey.
Drugs and alcohol wasn't a problem. I was the problem.